Hey, what's up guys? It's Curty Fox, and today I want to show you how to make a house facade for your trial house. And I'll be doing like a real-time example on how to build it. Like, I have not built this house before, and here is just one example of a trial house that I'll be building today. I'm going to be showing you the process of how to build this house because I feel like a lot of people, they have problems with this. So I'll just show you my process on how I would go about doing this, although I don't really build houses that often. So first off, we have this gray house. It's a really cool house, and we have a driveway over here, so I think that might be a good starting point. And driveways are usually easy. You just make a road. Gotta use this gray concrete, and whatever we do right now, it's not exactly permanent. We can change it whenever we want to make it fit. So I don't know exactly how wide the door is, but we do have some standards. So for now, you're gonna build just what you think the house actually looks like. I'm gonna just use bricks for the garage door, and that's gonna be on the right side. I might have to move this over later, but I don't know. But we're just building it. I think garage maybe at least 3 blocks, maybe a little bit higher, but I don't know. And then for garage doors, what you want to do is use iron trap doors as a frame for the house. I mean, for the garage door, right? And then I think it might actually have to be, let me see how wide this is. 6 blocks. Let's try to make it an odd number because it sort of has a middle section. And on FoxShot, you can actually open these iron trap doors. You don't need anything. Although, if it's not on FoxShot, you can use a debug stick, which it just looks like this, and you can get this at spawn. And yeah, you could pretty much change stuff with it. All right, so now we'll need to make the walls for this. So for this build, I think gray wool would fit. Although I know probably some people, they don't like gray wool because the texture, but I think it's around the right color. And there is sort of like a texture in the real life house as well. So we're just making, a frame around it. Make sure everything looks proportional. And next step, I guess we'll just have to make this extension part. So there's sort of like a line that goes up here. And then this garage door lines up. And again, none of this is actually like going to be the final product. We can change stuff if it doesn't actually make sense. It's all the way up there. Alright, so once we have that garage done, we can do this section here where it's like a window. And then there's going to be this doorway here. So I'll just like wrap it around. And you want to make things so they align, because the window, it doesn't go all the way down here. It goes a little bit higher than the garage door, and you want to sort of like line things up so that they make sense. And we could also fill in this like section here. Just like that. Alright, so next up, we'll need to add in the door. So the door is actually going to be lower than the window, so make sure we do that. And I think I want like a block on each side in the doors, like the door standards on FoxShot, they're gonna be I think actually it might be warped. Like they're gonna be a 2x3. That's just the standard we use. And it looks kind of wide right now, and that's because we haven't added these door frames, which is important. You should add door frames to pretty much every house, and also gotta use some welded just to stack it, because while you're building this house, using welded, it's gonna save you a lot of time. But yeah, this is going to pretty much be the doorway, and then you can sort of like match up with the alignment on how to do the other windows. Like the door is standards. It's always going to be like this sort of 1.5 to 2 blocks wide and then 3 blocks tall. That's always going to be the thing usually. So you just line it up where the window is, because you see the window is actually a little bit taller than the doorway, so we can't, like regular windows are going to be 2 blocks tall, but for this window it's an extra large window for some reason. They just made the house this way, so we can make it sort of taller, like a 2.5 blocks, and there's several other methods to do this, but we'll just do it like that for now, and then we can add in our frame. using smooth quartz. And this design, again, you could just use like any design, doesn't really matter. And we might actually have to move this doorway a block. So let's see, for this window, I don't know if I want to change it later on, but let's see. For now, we'll just add in the middle divider and like the outer frame of the window. You're always gonna have that. Then we're gonna stack it up a little bit, see if it actually makes sense. And for the inside of this, you can use black glass blocks, and we might have to actually like replace this top level if that doesn't look good. Yeah, I feel like we want to make it a little bit taller, so we could just like inverse design, and we're gonna use a block to represent, you know, the gray wall, so we can add it like that. And that's one way you can do it. There's a lot of ways you can make this type of window, and later I think we're gonna black out the windows. But anyways, let's work on the rest of the house. So I think we need to move the doorway just one block to the left, so that we have more room spacing between. So let's do that. Okay, and then there's gonna be this window frame I'm gonna use, and warped stairs perhaps like that. And maybe, I don't know if we should use it at the top, but yeah, we'll just use iron trapdoors for the rest of this side window for the door. I don't even know what's the proper name for this, but we'll just add glass behind it. Then we have our 3D effect. Now there's actually this thing in front of the doorway, so if you want to be like really accurate, you could do that as well. You would just probably do like a 3D effect. So let me just see if that looks good or not. And on top we can use smooth quartz just because there's like a white frame over there. Might as well add it like that on the inside. So to make that, use some stairs. It looks sort of greenish, so I'm gonna use like copper stairs. I don't know if that's gonna be the right block, but that's what comes to mind, so I'm just using it. And yeah, just make that circle. And that actually might be too big, so we can cut it down. So another way you can do this is use, you know, I guess warp stairs. And then what do? Copper on the inside of this, and just put it in the behind. And then it's a little bit at the top, so we might have to, yeah, we'll probably have to add in the warp stairs at the top. And now we have that little thing, although it's not exactly perfect because this is Minecraft though. But that's one way to do it. I'm sure there's like other ways to do it, you know. If you want to make this look better, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll just leave it as a circle for now. Alright, so what else we gotta do? We gotta make this wall over here. So let's just do that, extend this area. Alright, and we also gotta add in the window shutters for these windows. To do that, we can add in banners, black banners, and just add it to the side. Now, if you want to be like really accurate, you can get a loom, because usually they're not going to be totally one block wide. They're going to be a little bit thinner than that. So we'll just put in our black banner and put inside the loom, put a light gray dye, and then we'll just have it onto one side of it. And then we'll just add it like that, just so that we have a little bit thinner, you know, window shutter. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Got our window shutters now. And now if you do want to make this like go line up all the way to the top, one thing you can do, you can make it even more 3D. You just move this glass back. And then we'll just add in another one of these, you know, iron trapdoor frames so that they go line up all the way to the top. And that looks better because there's not like a gap there. And the inside of the windows, usually you're going to use black concrete. You are allowed to, in your trial, to do this, and it is actually recommended, I think. A good idea to add in this black concrete on the inside of these windows. It just looks a lot better, in my opinion. we got our blacked out windows, and then for the sides, you can use smooth quartz because, you know, the sides of windows, they usually have like this white frame. So, you know, that's one way to do it. So I'm just wrapping around the outside parts. So they are, and then the bottom part as well, that sticks up a little bit. So you can just fill that in. Maybe this part here, I don't know. There should be a stair, so that doesn't matter right there. All right, so that's how you make this window design. And another thing, there's all sorts of ways to make this window, and this is just, I guess, my method making this particular window. All right, so I just realized my house was in the shadow, so I just rotate it so it's in the light for the video, you know, so you guys can see it more clearly. All right, so after we've done that, what we'll do, we'll make this upper part. So we just add in another layer. You know, I think the minimum between floors is like 2 blocks, so you should have at least that. Just have that go across. All right, so what do we do next? Next up, we can add in this window here. It's pretty much the same design, so let's just, you know, add a couple blocks there, and then just copy this window using World Edit. And we're just gonna copy it onto the other side. There's no reason to have to rebuild it by hand if you just already have the original copy. So I just paste it again there. So that's our other window here. Then the side here, we'll add in a light gray wool like this. And then we'll add light gray wool going all the way across. All right, very cool. Okay, gotta fill that part in. And then this top part of the roof, we can add in, you know, some more. And it looks like these two windows line up. But for this top window, it's actually a little bit shorter than the bottom window. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but it is. Trust me on this. You know, sometimes, usually they're the same size, but, you know, for this case, looks like they're using a wider window. So we just copy this. But we're only copying the bottom 2 blocks of it. So I'm going to copy it here. And we're just rebuilding it up over here. Just like that. And then we're just copying the bottom 2 blocks. We don't need this upper section. All right. And then we're going to add in light gray wool. And just add it all the way across like this. All right, cool. All right, so once we're on the second floor, I see like there is an indent section over here. So I realize we have to remedy that by moving things over. So you see in the top row, there's actually like a cascading effect over here. So there's an indent here. And then after this window, this part should be sticking out a block. So we're going to have to move everything here just 1 block forward. And this is usually the case where if you see the top floor, the wall, it goes down, it should line up with the bottom floor. So even though it kind of is blocked by these front pillars here, but behind it, it's probably going to be this wall that's going to be sticking out. And there's like another segment like right around, I guess right around here, that will have to stick out as well. So we'll move that over. And I'm glad that I got this trowel house with this effect, because I know this could be really confusing to people who are not really familiar with building houses. But anyways, so we got that nice cascading effect you see like on the second floor it has. That's going to match up with the bottom floor. Trust me on this. All right, so I just realized this second floor, this middle window, that's the one that's 2 blocks tall. So we're just going to copy just 1/2 of this window here. And this window, that's actually going to be a little bit taller. So you know, when you're making the house, it's not going to be like perfect. I'm just showing you like what I'm really thinking of when I'm building this house. Even the bloopers. Because while you're making the house, it's good to make mistakes. You just have to catch them. So yeah, we have like the second. Yeah, I gotta get this window shutter. Okay, I already have it in my inventory. Yeah, so this window is actually going to be shorter than this window here. So you see like they don't really line up. It's a little bit higher than the others, so I'm gonna have to somehow compensate for that. It might actually be the top level of this, so I'm just gonna have to copy this again. And it turns out I should have had this in the original one. So we're just building again here. Right, just like that. And I think I'll just have another window. There's going to be another window around here. Yeah, we got to copy this bottom area as well. So let's do that. Showing you all in real time. And then just plop that other window there. All right, cool. So we got to make this window like taller. So it's apparently on this level. So let's just move everything over here up. Black concrete right there. Smooth quartz around the sides. Okay. And then we gotta like cut it down, you know, because it's not supposed to be going all the way down here. A little bit shorter, so let's do that. So we cut it down. The important thing to like figure out window alignment, I guess. All right, and then this banner doesn't even make sense here. All right, so once we have that, you'll see we have to cut down this banner as well. Like the bottom of it's too long, so we just have to go to the loom again and put back our banners and just add a light gray dye on the border. I mean the bottom of it. Same thing with the other banner here. Just put inside and put on the bottom. And then we can put it back right there. So it actually makes a little more sense. It's probably like a better way to do that, but whatever. All right, so once we have that, we're gonna make this other light gray wool. Just line that across. And then we'll have to make some more of these windows over there. So do that. We'll just copy this over. The entire thing. And we're gonna just place one of these right over around here. It should line up with the garage door. So yeah, it lines up like that. And then there's like a secondary one. They basically lining up where the garage door is. And I might actually make the garage door taller, but I'm not 100% sure right now. I feel like it is taller though. I don't know. Let me see what it looks like first. So one thing you could do if you're not sure, you could just test both ways to do it. And then whatever method works, you can go to that method. For this one, I am not actually sure about this. I think it works for right now. Maybe later, if we don't like it, we could change it though. Anyways, we could put these windows banners back, I guess. Anyways, let's just put back in this light gray wall between. And for the window banners, this isn't actually the only way to make these. Like in these example houses back over there, you know, I remembered there is walls. That is an example of how an alternative way to make it. There's probably other methods that you can use. You know, maybe the top of this is actually a bit too tall as well. So let me just grab these banners and see what it looks like if we fill in the top row. Light gray banners. Let's see here. Yeah, so that they line up with the windows better. Yeah, it's definitely like sticking out way too much. So yeah, we're just minimizing these top banners. Alright, so now we're going to be making the porch for this in the front because I feel like that is an essential part. So it's kind of hard to see what material they're using for the porch, so I guess you can just estimate it. In the bottom of the door, it has like a white frame, so I'm going to use some smooth quartz right there. Alright, so because it's in a shadow, it's a little bit dark to see, but you can see on the edge underneath the railings, you can see a little light gray color, so we're going to use that. And maybe we're going to use acacia wood. I don't even know. Acacia wood, that might be a good color. So yeah, we'll just have that little porch. I'm not trying to make it too big. Just go start small. And if it looks too small, then extend it more. But yeah, we're just adding the porch right now. And the edges of the porch, they are using this, you know, texture. It looks a lot like iron trap doors. So that's what I'm going to be using. Yeah, just put in iron trap doors here on the side. And you know what? I think it might actually be a good idea also to have, you know, smooth quartz. Because it looks like there's sort of like this smooth quartz slab behind this iron trap door. So let's do that. And for the side part here, I guess it's the same material. You know, iron trap doors like that. And for this side here, I don't know. Should we keep this design? It's really up to you because If you don't see it in like the reference photo, you can sort of make it whatever you want, but I'm just using iron trap doors goes all the way around like that. The railings. So for the railings for this, I recommend using end rods because they are white and they are skinny. A lot of people, they can use like fences, but you know, it works sometimes. It doesn't work all the time. I feel like this might work better because it's actually the right color and then really skinny. But one thing you can do is iron trap doors like that. And if you don't like that, you can use white carpets on top instead. Sorry, this looks so bright with the shaders on. Let me see if I turn off. Yeah, if I turn off my night vision, it looks like this. I wonder which looks better. I feel like night vision on is better so you guys can see it clearly. All right, so next up, we're gonna add in, you know, this white segment actually. Yeah, let me just delete all this part over here. And we gotta figure out where to put this. Yeah, we're gonna add in smooth quartz slab all the way around like this. And since we are using iron trap doors over there, we can use iron trap doors here, you know, just to keep it consistent. And then this part here looks like there's like a little step up thing, like a little stair. So that's gonna line up with this part here with the door. So let's do that all the way across, something like that. It looks something like that, right? And then we can extend these iron trap doors all the way across over here, as well as these end rods. All right, once we have that, it looks like there's like this middle post here that's a little bit thicker. So I guess for this part, maybe use birch fence so it looks a little, you know, thicker. All right, next up, we're gonna add in some railings here on the side. So let's do that. Some more end rods. Again, I apologize. It looks so bright with the shaders on. So we're just adding those side railings, and now we need to make the pillars. Now, oftentimes people use like a solid block, like smooth quartz block, and I understand that, but really that is too thick. You gotta use a wall, and you know, a white wall could be diorite walls, and this looks fine. Like the proportions is way better. So we're just adding them in the corners. They're a little bit taller than the doorway, so let's make it at least 4 blocks tall like that. And then over here, same thing, 4 blocks tall. And the side here, yeah, just continue the railing pattern. I mean, whatever you see before, just use it again. Very nice. And you notice it's on a little bit of a hill, though I don't know. It's actually worth it to put on a hill. If you want to go hardcore, you can do that. And then right over here, there's like a little garden. It's kind of hard to see like what color it is, but it looks sort of gravelly, so you can use andesite for that. And there's also like these plants over here. So to make the plants, I guess we can use like, you know, these other blocks. I wonder what this block even looks like. Yeah, I can't place it on there, but anyways, we're just putting a couple of these plants over here. Maybe like a fern would be nice. I don't know. We'll just plant down some plants. Oh yeah, we need grass. And then I'm just moving them down. You can use move one down, and then you write /A to only not to skip the air. I mean, like that. Then we have some plants, and then there's like this little flowering plant back over here. This thing I don't know. It's actually hard to tell where this actually is. For this driveway though, yeah, I feel like it does go around here, and then there's like this little flower that's kind of tall. I don't know exactly the right plant. Maybe a lilac. Lilac could work, could it? Yeah, something like it looks something like that, doesn't it? And then we'll have to just put in polish andesite. That's another way to place using world edit. And then you can see this part, the driveway doesn't line up with this little patch, so I'm gonna move it over like that. Just fine so far. All right, so once we have that, we're gonna add in, I guess, you know, the roof of this. And to do that, just make sure where you're gonna place it. You're gonna use smooth quartz, you know, stairs. Just wrap it upside down all the way around, you know, this front porch. This, and make it go all the way across. And this is just one idea I have. If it doesn't fit, we could always change it later. That's what I'm thinking right now. And then we're gonna add for the top part. I remember we had these slabs before. Yeah, deep slate tile maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see, this one actually looks a little bit too dark, but I like the texture. But, you know, in Minecraft builds, what we're going for is color more than, you know, texture. Like, if something's made of yellow brick, for example, you're not going to use red brick. Like, okay, but you can imagine that red brick. Don't use that. I think it's closer to, like, gray color, like light gray. Yeah, so this is a little bit too dark. We'll just use light gray. Just make a little roof. And it slants down over here. It's sort of hard to see in the picture, but I think it sort of like goes down like that. And then this part goes flat. All right, so what do we do for this part here? We can add in, you know, underneath smooth quartz all the way across like this. This is one way to do it. And then for the top of this, we can use, for example, where we have our carpet set. So we could use, you know, light gray carpet or gray carpet. Maybe gray carpet would be better. Now it is a little bit dark. So I'm just testing this method here, if it actually looks good or not. I guess it's all right. And let me see what it looks like if we just replace this, like, you know, top section with stone brick slabs. I feel like it can look a lot better if we just use like stone brick on the top of this. So let's just do that all the way across like this. So that's how it's looking out so far. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not exactly perfect. It matches, you know, the picture. It's not like totally different or anything. So next up, we can add in the roof of this. It's pretty much looks like a triangle, so we'll just do that. Make a triangle right above these parts, and these windows are going to be even. And then there's going to be this bigger triangle over here, so, you know, just match it up. Just make a rough estimate first, and then always change it later. And it looks like these two angles, they're supposed to match up into like a singular one, so we have to figure that out later. So let's see what else. We can also add in this little pot thing here. So let me see. Just think of good ideas to composter. So another thing you can do, you can add in, you know, it's dirt here, and then you wrap the sides around with, what is it, spruce trapdoors maybe. And then there's like a little bit of yellow plants. Not a sunflower though, that's too tall. Maybe down the line like that. I don't know. That's the closest we can get to, I think, in Minecraft. Back to this house here. There's also like a little plant over here, so I guess it could do the same thing. I don't know what plant they're using here. It looks kind of shady, but, you know, just put a random plant. Looks like it fits in. And then what we'll do is add in like a little bit of detail for like the lamps. You know, in Minecraft there are lantern blocks, but the thing is they don't really like stick onto the sides of walls. So that could be a problem, but, you know, if you're using Worlded, I guess you can use it. Let me see just how it looks like. You know, so that actually turns out quite nice. Yeah, so we just add it like that, and then we can add in some lanterns over next to this door. Just like so. Alright, cool so far. And again, if you don't like this block, you could use like other blocks. Maybe a wither skeleton skull, that might look better. But for now, we're just using lanterns. What else? Oh yeah, let's just work on the roofs now. So just fill in the corners here. And for these American roof designs, usually they have like a white trim to it, while the top part's like a different color. So don't just make the whole entire roof white or make the whole entire roof, you know, gray. You know, it's a mix of both worlds, you know, white on the outer edges. So let's just do that first using smooth quartz. Might be a stairs, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think we could do it on this layer. But for now, we're just making an estimate. You know, using these slabs on wherever it is, and sort of like, it's a little bit tricky because it's an even number here, so we'll have to figure that out as we go. So yeah, it's gonna go line up like that. You know, that sort of works out. If you do want to have it like pointy, you could use smooth quartz stairs instead, like that. That could also work. It's not exactly perfect, but that's the best we can do. And then for the inside part, we can add in that stone brick stairs. Where are you? Stone brick stairs. Right there. Just put them inside. This is a tricky position to be in. But I guess for this part, we could just use like a 3D effect. That's another way to do things, I guess. Just add in that stone brick. But that only works for this section because this is actually covered up. So yeah, for this part, maybe it's gonna be tricky. It's either like this, or it's gonna be that 3D effect. I don't know. I guess it's really up to you. Maybe it's better to just make it 3D or just leave it like this and it's simple or something. I don't know. Anyways, we got that angle down. Now we have to figure out this angle. So this thing, it looks like it kind of goes like right there, then goes up. We're just using the same angle. And usually for these builds, you either use slabs or stairs. For the main slope of things, so that it's consistent. Because if you use slab and stairs all the time, it's gonna look really jittery. Doesn't really look smooth. But yeah, we got that nice angle. See, they share sort of like the same angle. That's cool. And the inside of this, we're just using stone brick. I think actually this thing, it actually goes like one block, outwards, so like that. It's kind of like an overhang, so we'll have to move this entire thing over, just a block over. So let's do that using welded it. And then we gotta move this thing over a block. So it does that. Okay, so we have that same, problem where we have the even number, and then we're just making it a little bit more pointy using stairs. Not totally making the whole thing stairs, just the tips, just to make it make sense, I guess. Like that. And then stone brick stairs right behind it. Alright, very cool. And then we got that shared angle. Very cool. Alright, so what do we do next? Let's work on this part here. So there is, light gray wool, and we can add in the overhang using smooth quartz. And then wraps around the side here, and then it sort of like goes across all the way to this edge here. So one thing you want to make sure is you don't want too much of a gap, and I'm actually seeing that in this build right now. There's too much space between this and the white trim, so I'm actually gonna have to move this like a block down. Maybe the original design was fine, that I just messed it up. So yeah, just make sure to do that. See, there's not that much space between these blocks right there, so make sure you're doing that. If you catch yourself, having that issue, just fix it like that. You don't want too much of a gap. That's gonna look bad. So this part's actually lower than this one, apparently. Oh yeah, because the reason why it's lower, I didn't extend this all the way to the edge. That's why. Okay, figure that out. All right, so now you have to fix this problem here. So I guess we're putting back the old slope that I had before. So yeah, we're just extending that across, and then this part here, yeah, lines up like that. Okay, yeah, that looks actually better, so I'm glad we can use this, the original slope that we had in the beginning, because that looks a lot more natural. This part over here. Actually, on the top of this, since we have like this gap here with the stone slab, we can change these into, stone brick slabs, I guess. Alright, so once we have that, it looks very cool. Now we have to make the roof part. Now for the roof, I guess it sort of depends on what to do. Some people, they use stairs, other people use slabs, so it's kind of hard. You have to sort of judge on your own how you should do it, but I feel like slabs, I feel like that could work, so let's just try that. If it doesn't work, we could just go over again. So yeah, I just made a bunch of slabs. And then here's what it looks like with stairs, and I feel like kind of conflicting on what I want to do. So if you don't know what to do for now, you can just work on other things that you actually know how to do. So I'm just studying this roof across. Right, on the side. And for the side of this building, you can just extend this, wall across. La la la. And then this smooth quartz is going to go across. And for this tutorial, we're just building the front face of it. We're not building, the whole entire house, because That's up to you. I'm just showing you how to make the parts for, the reference. And then we can add in a little bit detail, right over here. There's like a little light, so we could add that. Could either be down there or up here. It doesn't, I don't know. I feel like we can make it lower using, debug sticks. So let me do that. You can make fence gates lower. Oh, not open. Okay, like that. So it's a little bit lower. That's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it, maybe a skeleton skull or a button. I don't know. Really depends. And then you can see the top of that window, it's exposed. So let me just fill that in. Smooth quartz. So that we don't have a giant hole at the top of the windows. And it will look better using it's covered up. Alright, cool so far. And then we can add in the drainage pipes. So a lot of people, they often forget to use drainage pipes. So they are probably on most houses. So make sure you're adding these. The thing you can do, you can just use, birch fence gate like that. For example, that's just one way to do it. So I'm just adding them this little bit of detail, and then you can kind of change it. You could do it like that, for example. Maybe that looks better. I don't know. I feel like that does look a little bit better. This one's sort of like a straight line, though. What else? There's also a drainage pipe here on the side. And then for this, reference picture, it doesn't look like the drainage pipe like sticks out a lot. It just sticks out at the top part. So like that's just what I'm doing here. In this part here, I can make it stick out like this. Yeah, we gotta figure out what to do with this top layer. So I feel like for this reference, the more accurate thing would be the stairs. But I don't know, I'm still kind of conflicted. But whatever, we'll just go with stairs for now. Going all the way across over here. And we're just gonna connect these 2 points together. So like you see, these 2 parts, you just connect them, making them go straight across like that. La la la, just like this. And if you do want to, you can actually like curve the stairs so they match. I don't know. In this situation, I don't think you have to though. I guess it really depends, but that's how it's looking. That's all right, I guess. And then we could also change it so the roofs all like merge to a singular point so that they're the same height. If you don't know, you just do it like that, That's just one way to do things. And then I just using world edit. You could use world edit, just stack a bunch of times over here, and then once you're over here, you can just move that thing over. Block like that. And then over here, there's like a separate section, so extend that all the way across up here, and then the sides, we gotta add in that white trim. Like that. And then for this middle part here, I guess it really depends. It could be like an indent. So we could do like the regular wall color inside there, just a little bit. I feel like this roof right over here is actually like taller than this roof here, so we gotta figure this out. So in the reference picture, maybe you can like fly to wherever you see the picture at. It's already a little bit higher, but I feel like it's taller than that. So yeah, let's just make it a little bit taller. Let's see what this looks like. I have no idea how this is gonna look. All right, so we're using the same reference picture, and then it kind of fits for now. We could do it like this, and this would allow more of that overhang part. Alright, so then we're going to have to extend this part of the roof across so it matches up with the other side, and this part here goes across, and then we got to connect these 2 segments together. So let's do that. All the way down here, and then this was already connecting with the other part. The stairs. Oh no. Oh dear. What do you do even here? Okay, yeah, it's a better idea to have it like that. Whatever, it's the most dominant place. Alright, and then this edge here, I don't know, I guess we just use smooth quartz stairs. That makes any sense like that. Who knows how we're gonna do this. And then this part here, this could be like, continue this light gray wool section. And I guess you could add like, you know, windows here and stuff like that. All right, so once we have it like that, let's see what it looks like from the front. The roof, I feel like the roof is too tall now. So yeah, let's just cut it. Let's just cut it one block down. That is a little bit too tall, and we can actually make this pointed using stairs, you know, back to back. Cross like that. La 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 la. And if we do want to make this part shorter, we can. We just like, you know, delete this block here. And we can make these stairs back to back. Add in that white trim and add in like the light gray wool in these nooks to the ground like this. And then we could add in that light gray wool on the inside of this. Alright, so once we have it, it should be looking like this so far. Now we can add in some extra details to this house, like for instance, you know, the drain pipe here, we gotta add that too. Just like that. One way, because this drain pipe, it really like, I feel like it just lines with the wall, so I guess you could just do it like that, just using iron trapdoors, just goes along the wall like that. That's one way you can do it. So I guess we'll do it anyways. And also, like, this house has sort of like this white trim around the walls as well, so it kind of makes sense to even have it like that. But yeah, I'm just doing it where we have those areas with like the drainage pipes, because if we do it for all of them, then I don't know, it's gonna be hard because those banners are gonna be in the way. Like that. That's just an example. Drainage pipe and the trim as well, and then this part here, there's a drainage pipe here as well, so let's do that. All right, so I think there's actually like a drainage pipe over like with the porch roof area. That might be where it is, so I guess it's just it barely, it doesn't stick out that much, so I don't know. Maybe that's too thick. Maybe it's not even worth adding, I don't know. Sometimes if a detail is too small to add, it's better not to add it all, because then it looks even worse. There are cases like that. Alright, so we got our drainage pipes down, and then you're gonna be like, what else do? We gotta look for like tiny little details like this thing here. There's like a little, I don't know, this thing in this bottom corner. We could just add in a slab like that. That's just one thing to do. If you have a better idea, I don't know, maybe you can make this wider if you just use like smooth stone inside of it, and then stone stairs on the outside, maybe. Stone slab there, and then we could put that in. That's just one idea I have for it. Of course, if you have a better idea, you can do it. There's also like this little, if you look closely at the garage door, there's like a little thing right there. So you can add it, and then yeah, it's like a little white thing. And for these lanterns, I don't know. I wonder if like, I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just gonna temporarily move these lanterns, add in like a button. I wonder if this looks better. Yeah, I feel like that looks better, because the lanterns, you know, they're not really supposed to be blue. They're supposed to be like, you know, black color, so you just put in the buttons instead like that. Alright, it's looking good so far. Now, you're probably wondering about that tree in the front. And I don't know. We have to calculate the distance, because sometimes when you're building a house, you realize, oh, I need more space. So you see the tree in the reference, and then you just plant it right here, because that's where you have room. But it might actually be too close to the house. So I think for this reference, the tree's like around here. So I think we'll have to move the house back a little bit just to fit in that detail if you want to. If you don't want to move the house, you know, you don't have to add in the tree, because it's like too close to the house if you're gonna add it in the plot. So yeah, we're just moving the house a little bit, and then we're gonna extend this road so it matches up. All right, now that we have more space, we can add in that little tree here. So that tree, it's got, make sure you line up also with the picture where the tree, just don't put it randomly, you have to line up. Okay, so it's in front of this window, and you just go right to the front, maybe around here. Maybe it's sort of like in between, maybe it's like here. It's definitely in front of this window thing. It's sort of like a circular patch. So I don't know. I feel like it's using the same. It looks almost the same. It looks really bright in the sun, so maybe we just added like that little andesite like that. And then we gotta build a tree. Now, you know, Minecraft trees, they look horrendous. Do not use the default Minecraft trees. You see this tree here, it's using a really thin trunk, so maybe a fence would be better. I don't know. I wish there was like a gray fence, but no. Just using this just to make the tree just, you know, I'm not even a tree expert or anything. We're just making it how it looks like that. You don't have to be too fancy smancy with this. And then we gotta add in like the leaves to it. So yeah, just add in some leaves around. Just do the best you can do without going like too overboard. You see, you know, the tree is actually quite thin, so you don't have to add that many leaves. So it looks something like that, right? And then we add that tree. Nice. We got what else? You gotta find out stuff to add. Like right over here, there's like a little patch around here. I don't know what that's about, but we could add it like that. Sort of looks like it goes around it. But that might be hard to place. And another thing you can do if you're not sure, like if it's in between these two blocks, you can make it look thinner using stairs. Just make it like that. It's kind of like how we do our stair lines on our highways. All right, so once we're at this stage, you can try to make it look improved. You know, find out little things that are off, like little holes in this window here. Also, you gotta find out little details that you don't really notice at first, but you gotta look closely between your build and the real life photo. So I see in the porch there's actually stuff there, and it's kind of hard to see, so you can zoom in. Don't be afraid to just zoom in like crazy. Sometimes it actually like kind of gives you an idea of what it is. And I zoomed in, and there's apparently these chairs over here, and then I guess we can use like, you know, armrest. Here is a chair, then there's another chair, it's on its side, and then there's like this little thing in the middle next to this, you know, window dividers, so it doesn't look that tall. So I don't know, maybe a skull. You know, it's not as tall as this railing, so I know it's shorter than that, but we have some sort of detail now. And there's also like these little black bars over here, so but maybe we could just use like a dark oak fence gate as an example. And we can make it even shorter if we have a debug stick. So let's do that in the wall. That just makes it shorter, so it looks like that. All right, so now you gotta think about the practicalities for this, because usually when you have a porch, it's not gonna go to grass, and it's kind of hard to see like in photographs. The road, there's supposed to be a pathway going to the driveway usually in these American houses, so we're gonna add in that. It's really hard to see because the angle though, but yeah, there should be some path linking up porch. It looks like a really light color, but you can use sidewalk, you know, block. Using smooth stone like this goes across, and you can see it's sort of in the reference picture. And now that we have like this little walkway, you could kind of see if you go like that. Maybe you can make it a little bit thinner. I don't know. Guess it's really up to you. I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner. I don't know. Whatever, like that. And then we can also, you know, there's not supposed to be like this grassy bit here, like this flower pot. We gotta move this like forward since this thing is in the way, and then this part also. And then there's no grass here, so we'll just fill this in with this andesite block. And you know, just try to, now that we have more room, we can add more plants here, I guess. Sort of plants everywhere. It's something like that, man. Just try to make it look normal, like so. I guess that's okay, and then we can add in some smaller. Oh yeah, we need the ferns. I think I just deleted all the ferns, so. Oh yeah, we need the grass blocks just to add them over. And I'm gonna use world edit just to move them down so that they look like this. And you know, there's some plants. There actually is like a little bit of yellow there. I don't know, there's no yellow leaves, are there? All right, so now we're gonna look for some more details. I see like you gotta figure out stuff with alignment, because this flower pot thing here, it's actually like halfway in front of this thing, so let's try to do that somehow. I don't know, we should make it thicker like that. I don't know. Something like that. You know, we could also change up this part. If you want to make like an ultra 3D, another thing you can do, you can actually move this thing in. So let me see, expand one here. And just move it in and block that. And then we can add in another layer just to make it more complex. We got those, you know, horizontal stripes. I guess it really depends on if you actually want this or not. And you can also try doing it like on the inside part. I don't know. That makes sense. Whichever looks better to you, you could use. Yeah, like I feel like in this circumstance, it might be better. So these horizontal things are in the inside part, and then these vertical things are on the outside. Because this is already vertical. You want to keep it like everything in this layer is gonna be up and down, while the inside gonna be horizontal. Just keep it like that. You don't really want to mix two layers up. And then we could add in, you know, blocks around it, covering up all those exposed areas. Sorry, my nose is a little bit stuffy today. So I'm trying to find out anything else I can add. You know, the only thing I could think of right now is like this house is actually on a hill, so we can move that grass, you know, one block down. This little tree thing, it's actually also on an angle, so let's just move everything one block down. And then we could add in a slab so it actually, you know, makes sense like that. And you could try to make it look natural. You don't want it like a totally, I guess, like a straight line. You want it, try to make it look natural-ish. You put like a little curve like that just to make things seem a little bit, you know, natural. So I'm just adding this little curve here. I don't know, that's just one thing you could do. Another thing, some people, they like to add in like slabs. I don't think slabs exactly like look good because it's like not really grass, but it really depends on the situation. Maybe a little bit of slabs is good. I don't actually know. But anyways, we gotta fix up this pattern here, like underneath the porch. So delete all this stuff here. And then the inside, I guess we can use, you know, black concrete so you don't see that dirt. You know, just put it on the outside as well, and then, you know, iron trapdoors, wrap it around the side of this cross, and then we can extend this, you know, the wall all the way down to the floor level. Just like this. Alright, and then this part here, I don't know what we'd do. We could just add in. You know, this part actually over here, it actually looks like it goes like a line, like a little pillar that goes down here. I don't know how we're gonna add that though. Let's just add in some blocks like this. Yeah, that might be a detail. We can't, it wouldn't really be making much sense to add that. But yeah, we just try to make it look natural, make it look good as well. Guess we do have to add in a slab here. Yeah, I'm just gonna add in stuff here, and then, yeah. You know, this part, we actually, I think it does start like some kind of a thing here. It might actually be sticking out a little bit, you know, above the ground. So I don't know, we'll just have to change all this. I'm gonna try to make it like a little mount up. And, you know, add in some slabs there. And then we could also add in, we might have to do a little bit of 3D effect like that. Just so we can add in, you know, these slabs. Yeah, I feel like it would look better if we add in, you know, some sort of slab so that it makes sense like this. Alright, so you're just gonna look for some other details. I see there's a little bit of a thing that's sticking out over here, so do that. Maybe a bit of stone brick stairs so it matches up with the roof a little bit. Let's see what else we could do. I feel like this plant, you know, I really hate this plant. I hate it so much. You know, I think on the side this could add in like a little wall here that would still work. Yeah, something like that. Just so it's one block wide. Alright, so another thing you could do is add in Ultra 3D. Now what Ultra 3D means is just extra 3D on top of like regular 3D. So there's basically, you know, a layer on the outside part of it as well. And then we could do this using end rods, just going across. And that could represent, you know, the horizontal beams of this, because there are some horizontal beams. So another way to actually make it is to use iron trapdoors. it may or may not work. And right now it does look a bit weird, but if you look at it from the front, you know, it might actually look better. So yeah, let's actually try iron trap doors. So here's the side with end rods, and here's the side with iron trap doors. It could be a personal preference on whichever one you like better. So I converted them all to iron trap doors except this one, because this end rod's actually perfectly in the middle, and this window is shorter than the other ones. So that looks exactly right. If I put iron trap doors, it's gonna look really off. You're just gonna look around, see what other things you can add. We can also add in like a little bit of carpet on top of this part, cause you know this part it's not actually supposed to be white on top. It's just white on the side, and then you want to make it like, you know, consistent, I guess. So maybe brown would be a better idea. I don't know. Guess it really depends. You know, maybe light gray. I think gray's a great color because it kind of like blends with any color if you're not too sure what color to use. So I'm just using light gray like that. And it looks fine so far. So yeah, here is what you know, the trial house facade looks like if I did a trial on FoxShot. Please pass. You better let me pass because I'm the owner. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful about the process, and I hope people actually watch this and actually build houses better because this video, because this is what it's designed for, to help people with the trials because they're having problems even with just the front part, not even counting like the back and stuff. And once you have this part, try to use like the same techniques, you know, just be realistic. And if you're not too sure about American houses, how they're supposed to be like, one thing you could do is just go on Google and like search up like references on what houses are supposed to look like in the back, or just go in like Google Earth or Google Maps. Now this isn't the only way to build this house, of course. So Mick Alpaca, his method, he wants the windows to be smaller. So here's how his house would look like if you change the window dimensions and also make the door more narrow to 1.5 blocks instead of 2 blocks wide. And I don't expect the trial house to be like exactly 1.5 to 1 scale because you're not really given any measurements to it. You only have your picture, and the photograph, it might have like an angle, so it's kind of hard to tell. So just try your best. But I just want to show this so you can see another way to do the same house. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, remember hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you had already, because if you didn't subscribe, I don't know why. You should be if you're watching this video. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.